What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday morning. I hope it's a great one. It was a little wet first thing, but it looks like it's going to be beautiful. And it's a little bumpy out here. It's been blowing out of the east all morning. 10 to 15. It's just now switching to the southeast like it said, like it called for. What a fun morning. Let me just bring you up to speed real quick on my last 24 hours. I pulled the boat yesterday afternoon when I got done with work, and I went down to see the great people down at Krenzer Marine in Lakeport here in the Oneida Lake, and picked up the Yamaha oil change kit. Yamaha, it's pretty cool. It has the whole thing right in the box. It's got all your oil, it's got the filter, and it's got a new crush washer for the oil drain plug. So every time you do it, you put a new one in there. And it was pretty reasonably priced too, I thought. And like I say, it was a one-stop shop, which I really liked. So I went down there, I got my supplies, I pulled the boat. Courtney helped me yesterday afternoon, pulled the boat, and I brought it home, stuck it in the driveway, changed the oil. First time I've changed the oil in it. First time I had Krenzers do it. I didn't have time to take it out there and leave it, so I did it myself. And it really, in the grand scheme of things, it was very simple. I'm not a mechanic per se, like diagnostics wise, but I can change oils and spark plugs, and if I see a broken piece, I can take it off and put another one on. I'm a fisherman. Anyway, I get the oil change done yesterday. We have a wedding to go to today at 3 o'clock, or we did anyway. Thursday morning, my beautiful wife helped our neighbor out. Our neighbor wanted to plant a new flower bed by the river, and my wife was so lovely and gracious to help her take all the old weeds out and plant her new flowers. She's elderly, and so she's like our mom. Honestly, she's like our mom. She's wonderful, and we help her out with all kinds of stuff. Well, she's covered in poison ivy all over her arms and legs, and just covered. And I had it earlier this spring, and now she's got it. So, needless to say, we don't get to go to the wedding today because she's not comfortable. So, listen, it sucks, but whatever, So, but I had the boat on the trailer this morning. So, but I only thought I had until noon, thinking I had to be home by noon, shower, get dressed, leave the house 2 o'clock, go to Watertown for the wedding, the whole 9 yards. So I thought I only had till noon. So all last night, I'm like, what am I going to do this morning? And I really want to go bass fishing up either Eastern Lake Ontario or up to the St. Lawrence. I just didn't have time this morning, but I'm like, I don't want to sit around either this morning and waste the Saturday morning. So I was up anyways at 5:30. By the time I left the house, it was, 6:30 maybe. I went out, hooked the boat up, off I went. I came down here to South Shore in Bridgeport to the state ramp, and I launched. I'm looking at it right there. I launched. I came right straight out, put my side scan on, looked at my chart, and I found the first structure I could find. I come down through the big deep trough right there, and I found the first piece of structure. Looked around it real quick, found some rocks, got upwind of where I wanted to be, so the wind was at my back. Put the trolling motor down, spot locked, and started fishing. I've moved around the same little piece of structure since 8 o'clock or so this morning by the time I got in the water and got out here. And it's been a fun morning. I'm going to tell you, dragging that little football jig with either, some sort of I fished either a rage tail Strike King Rage Tail for a while, and then I switched to a Guggen bait, with big aggressive claws that were gonna go like this as I'm slow dragging it across the bottom. So it's bouncing like this and dragging, those claws are kind of flopping, and let me tell you, exciting morning. Started out with a sheep's head that just throttled that jig as hard as a jig bite you could want. Crack! He just smashed it. I stuck him like this, and you learn pretty quick. You catch enough of a fish, you learn its characteristics and how they bite and fight. Between the three that I've been catching lately, smallmouth, walleyes, and sheep's head, they all have a distinctly different way they bite and fight. So I start out with a big sheep's head. I got 4 keeper walleyes. I've caught 6 today, and I caught my personal best smallmouth. I didn't get him in the net. I didn't get him on a scale, but he was huge. He throttled this jig, and I thought for sure it was a sheep's head. I stuck him. He come right up to the top, didn't break the surface, and went right back down, and I thought sheep's head. And he dug a couple times really hard, and even pulled a little drag, and I thought sheep's head. And I'm laying into him. I mean, I got that JT Rods Black Rain 6'9" medium action, 6'9". I got it torqued like this. It's a big arc, and I'm always one to put the wood to fish anyway. I'm not interested in the keeping part of it. So even if I lose one, I don't really think twice about it, because I've had that excitement of that hit and that strike, and I really put the wood to them. All of a sudden, I see the flash of color, but of course these sheep's head are kind of they're light colored. Let's just say light colored. I got a flash of the side of this fish, and it was light colored, and I thought, yep. And he dug for the bottom again, and I'm really laid right into him. Now I got 15-pound test leader on, but I'm fishing a small, light wire football jig. Anyway, he comes up again. I turn him, he comes up again, and my eyes get this big around. It's not a sheep's head, it's a smallmouth. And it's a giant. A giant. My record, my personal best is 5 pounds, 12 ounces. Caught last winter out here on a swim bait. And I caught a lot of 5-pounders last winter. And this was, my eyes scaled it instantly bigger than anything I've personally caught. Like, I think that was my 6-pounder right there. And I'm laid right into him. Before everything computes and I'm realizing what I'm looking at, I reach for the net, which I already had on the back deck. I sling it down, I catch the end of it, and I go like this to, one arm down and one arm up to scoop him. And he turned his whole body this way. I was pulling this way, and he went whoop, and he did a spin move on me, and I watched it. I watched that jig go just like this, and out it came. And I went, no! And I dropped to my knees, and I shoved the net down underneath him, and the net came down like this, and he went just like that. Ah! I just wanted to hold him. I just wanted to stick a scale in his face for a second. I just wanted, but man, heart pumping. It was a ton of fun. And I had my best fishing when I caught that smallmouth. That was one of 5 fish I caught in 6 casts, because I was counting them. I kept telling myself, I got to get out of here. I got to go load the boat and get home, and I got, now I got other things I got to do, and yada yada yada. And so I said to myself, if I go 2 casts in a row without a bite, then I'm done. So I went smallmouth, walleye, nothing, walleye. 2 of them were shorts that came off right at the surface, all dragging that finesse jig, that little football head. I caught some fish on other things today that I threw, but that was by far the best. And that little flurry right there, I mean, I left him bite. I said to myself, I got to get moving. So I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow or Monday yet, because I'm not putting the boat back at the dock yet. It's going to stay on the trailer for at least 2 more days because I really want to go do something different. I love my lake on Oneida, but I want to go. I want to go play somewhere else for a couple hours. So who knows where I'll be in the morning? We'll see. Thanks, everybody. Have a great Saturday. Keep your tip up.